So secretly, early in the morning, Nintendo just dropped a video saying, hey, here's the Nintendo Switch 2, and here's what it looks like, and here's maybe some of the stuff that it's going to be able to do. And Peter and I really are curious about what this is going to mean for the future of Zelda. So we want to watch this thing together with you guys, maybe talk and analyze a little bit, and then have a conversation about what this means for the future of Zelda. So let's do it. Oh, here it is. It's a Nintendo.
It is a Nintendo. The next Nintendo from Nintendo. Wait a minute. That looks like the old Switch. That's the same.
Look at, oh man, remember just the big bezels on the side? Whoa. Ooh. Okay, it's bigger. It's better. It's got curvy backs. What does that mean?
It's clean.
Oh, the vents are down on the bottom.
The volume is up on the somewhere.
Okay. Ooh, nice. I like that.
Nice. Took him 3 tries to get the kickstand right.
You still can't plug it in and have the kickstand, though.
Spring loaded. That surprises me. Maybe there's one on the top.
I think I did see one on the top, actually. You got the.
Ooh.
You got the. That is smooth. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It looks good.
You know what they're doing
Hopefully
here?
they fix some of their Joy-Cons.
They're saying this is not a Nintendo Switch. This is a new thing. Because no one understood that with the Wii U.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you see that? That was a subtle little...
Okay, those look like mice right now.
Yeah, I think they did that on purpose. Because there's that optical thing on the bottom of the Joy-Con, too. Ooh, the Switch 2 Snap.
It's got its own...
They should have called it the Switch Snap.
Dude, that would have been a handy name.
Smart.
So
I know,
clean.
But then people would have been confused. Ooh. Ooh, now it's the... Look how attractive it is. Hey, that's a 60 FPS is what that is.
Yep. Mario Kart 9, or whatever they'll call it.
Is that the next Mario Kart, or is that the same as 8? It looks the same to me. Oh!
No,
that looks a little different.
Definitely different.
That is new. That is new. That's a new Mario Kart they just teased there.
It's a new course. Donkey
explanation.
Kong looks like Mario movie Donkey Kong and not Mario Kart 8 Donkey Kong.
Right, and Luigi's car was different, and that track looked new.
Okay, April 2nd, we'll get a direct. Find out more.
Okay, all right. So, right away, I didn't realize that was a new Mario Kart, so that's really awesome.
Yeah, it definitely looks new. I've been poking around already, and someone pointed out there are 24 starting spots before the starting line in that one wide shot.
Oh.
So I don't know how big the multiplayer is going to be, but I have heard that
24 is big.
12 player online connected online co-op where you know everyone and they're in your friends group and stuff is possible, but I don't know what's true or not. But it definitely looks like a new Mario Kart game, which makes sense. Mario Kart 8 has been out for so long and they keep updating it,
and it's the best seller. I mean, if you're gonna sell a new system, get it in the hands of as many people as possible, because when the install base for the actual system is awesome, the games then can be awesome.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
And the third-party support can be strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too. Although it's probably going to be strong from the get-go, given how well the Switch sold.
I have this theory that Nintendo, certain leakers, they actually feed information to them. This leak came out. The leak came out that we were going to get a reveal of the Switch 2 earlier this week from this person. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they feed little bits of information that they want to kind of prep people for.
It could be. I mean, it's a new
and
form
then that
of
person
marketing.
They don't.
You could build hype that way.
It really is.
Yeah.
And Nintendo is the master of that. It's ninjutsu. I mean, it's a ninja tactic.
They're playing 4D chess, and Xbox is still playing Candyland.
And they don't need to get everybody watching that Switch 2 trailer. People are going to watch it, and they know that the entire internet's going to react to it and hyper analyze it.
Right.
I did hear too that there's some stuff that's blurred out on that. there's a button, a C button or something.
Oh, right. Yeah. So on the right Joy-Con below the home screen, there's an additional button, and some of the leaks have shown a C on it, but in that trailer it was just a blank button. So that could be connect or capture or community. It could be
community,
all sorts of things.
Maybe they're finally unleashing like a massively multiplayer connection world.
Well, and that's
Maybe
what the
they're finally
leaks
doing
about that game test they tried to keep hush hush seemed to imply.
Yeah, I tried
too.
to keep hush hush. Don't tell anybody about this thing that you're doing.
It almost seems to me like
Obviously.
it could be some sort of crossover between like the Miiverse and an actual game, but you could use that as your hub to like go to other games and stuff. Couldn't you see building a world based on how many games you download and open? Because right now you earn like different badges that you can display as your icon if you open an NSO game that they just released, but you only have like 1 week or whatever to claim that. I could see that happening with like this world building that other people can participate in.
Okay, so Zelda.
Yes.
Because people hang out on this channel love Zelda, and
Right.
we love Zelda. What do we think this is going to mean for the future of Zelda? Because first of all, we've got that bigger screen, obviously, but it looked like it was got like 60 FPS. So I think we're going to get probably high res, better frame
And it might
rate
be an
versions of
LCD
stuff.
because I actually saw a decent sized bezel on that. It wasn't real thin.
Not an OLED.
Right. And are they going to do an OLED in a few years?
I mean, they probably could. People who care about it will
Right.
pick it up, but the people who don't are perfectly happy. And you know what? It works out pretty great. Like, I love the fact that in my house we have a couple switches.
Yeah.
And like the old one is the one that the kids generally can use and move around, and the OLED is like dad's,
Right.
know? So that works out pretty good, and I think that they know that about their audience enough.
So with
But,
Zelda, though, they've got Tears of the Kingdom came out not that long ago in the scheme of like the Zelda release timeline expectations. So a new 3D Zelda, I think, is probably still a ways away, which is okay if Prime 4 and a 3D Mario and Mario Kart are all within the launch window. It's not going to be an issue. Could there be a 2D Zelda? We know that Echoes of Wisdom just came out, but maybe one that doesn't look like the Link's Awakening high definition plastic toy, aesthetic, but something a little more rudimentary. Or I'd love to see a Zelda Maker, and they could do it, and you could toggle between the styles of original Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, like visual styles. But I don't know if they'll do it or not.
They've toyed around with that mechanic in other Zelda games. There's
Right.
like dungeon makers and stuff. But
Right.
I think like pulling it really into the realm of like what I think they're probably going to do, I think we're going to see a remake, an HD remake come to it almost immediately, like within the launch window. But I don't know if it'll be like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. We might get that Wind Waker remake and like Twilight Princess HD remake.
Yes,
come to the
those are
Switch, too.
definitely candidates. It was smart of them to hold on to if that's what they were thinking,
Because they really could.
because they could drip feed Zelda games that a lot of people haven't experienced because they were either on the Wii U in their HD form or older consoles, and a lot of young Zelda players may have never played Twilight Princess or Wind Waker, either version.
And I wonder, I still feel like there's room for them to do DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. They said they don't have, I've talked about this a million times, but
Yeah.
like what they said was, we don't have plans for a DLC at this time, which it means
They did not close the door,
whatever.
but they
Yeah,
did
they didn't
let us
say
know they
never,
weren't
we will never
actively
do it.
working on it. But they haven't said anything about Tears of the Kingdom DLC in a long time. So either no news is no news, or no news is we're not ready to tell you what we have been working on now.
Right. But so here's my question. If they did release a Tears of the Kingdom DLC along with the launch window of the Switch 2, how would they do that in a way that sells systems? Probably it would just be like, hey, Tears of the Kingdom is like upscaled now on your Switch. I don't know how they would do that with the software. I suppose the hardware could just do it. That's so weird. That blows my mind that they would be able to. You have your cartridge,
Yeah.
and then just the hardware would upscale it. I suppose.
Well, they could send a download patch that runs.
Oh, that's true.
And doesn't necessarily install on the cartridge, but installs on like the local system memory.
The system.
And so it runs through that from the cart. But yeah, I could see it being a system seller for people who haven't played those games, who maybe skipped Switch, but get a Switch 2 and want to play those games, or people who friggin' love the games like us and want to play them in 60 FPS on a Nintendo console. But here, if they sold like Breath of the Wild update for $20, and if you already own Breath of the Wild, you know, you just pay that to get like the 60 FPS version on Switch, and maybe there's some new content too a little bit. That and or Tears of the Kingdom, or you could bundle them for like 30.
I wonder if they like if it's just included. Like, hey, if you buy the Switch 2, you're gonna get that stuff if you already bought it. Like,
yeah, I do wonder. It seems like if it's similar,
that would be a system seller.
Enough.
If I didn't have to buy more game stuff, I just buy the thing and I get an upgrade. Because they know those games were such huge sellers. My prediction for what happens with Zelda is we see a couple remakes, possibly even like a trilogy, like a Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker HD, because they have the files. It's not like it's hard for them to just port it. We get all three of those in some sort of Triforce trilogy or something. And then,
like the limited release Mario 64 Sunshine Galaxy 1 thing on the Switch.
Yeah, so that way they have like a launch window Zelda thing, they have a launch window Mario thing, and a launch window Mario Kart thing. And if they did that, that would be like the trifecta. That's the Triforce of Nintendo.
Yeah.
If they did that, they would sell so many of these things.
Yeah, I think you're probably, well, it depends on the price point, but I think you're probably right.
Oh yeah, what do you think the price point's gonna be?
At least 400.
I'm thinking 450 with inflation.
Yeah. Well, inflation, I don't know if tariffs are going to impact it, this kind of thing. America and Japan have a great relationship, so
yeah,
maybe not. I wonder, so you brought up pack-in software, like what comes with the system, and usually what comes with the system, or something they try to sell cheap on launch day, if it's not a pack-in, is something that highlights what's new about this hardware that wasn't with the last one. And for the Switch, it was things like just the way the Joy-Cons work and the HD rumble and things like that. So snipper clips and 1-2 switch, a bunch of mini games, right? So I'm thinking if these new controllers work like mice, and you could have multiplayer games, I'm picturing something like, I keep thinking about the Mario Paint game where you could swat bugs with the Mario Paint mouse.
Oh, the fly swatter. Yeah, with the Mario Paint mouse.
I could see a bunch of mini games like that designed to get people excited about the Nintendo Switch 2 mouse controller, and then they come out with like WarioWare games that use that a lot. And maybe it would work really well with a game like a Mario Maker 3 or a Zelda Maker where you're placing blocks and you're not using just Joy-Con sticks to move a cursor around a screen.
Right. And I wonder if mouse support's going to be a thing for like Minecraft and stuff. Because, I mean, Bedrock has mouse support.
Yeah, any like first or third person, 3D environment shooter games or whatever, if you could aim with that right Joy-Con and not use the stick but use the mouse functionality of it, that would be big. I wonder if Zelda could have support like that. Can you imagine looking around as Link without using the camera like how we're used to?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
that would be crazy. Plus, like, I feel like that would be such a weird thing, because you don't always play. I mean, you usually don't play Switch with a mouse setup,
right? Because you need the buttons in your right hand to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And so, I don't know if that would function. But I just thought, like, when you're talking about Mario Paint, if this could make a really good like drawing setup to be able to like draw like with a pencil, almost it would almost feel like you're holding a pencil if you were.
And think about like Super Mario 3D World, where you could draw messages, write messages, or draw little, and they had stamps and stuff, but then they scrolled across the top of the screen if you had your internet connection on, and you could see what other people thought of that level. It seems like community and interaction is very important to Nintendo. And I applaud that because gaming tends to be kind of an isolationist thing or a toxic thing. And they're trying to like get rid of both of those things somehow, right? Yeah, it is very much a needle to thread.
Well, it's tricky because, you know, especially if you allow drawing that's shared in the public, somebody is going to make something inappropriate, or they're going to spell bad words or whatever, right?
Yeah, and you can't filter out drawings as easily as you can, although it's getting better than you can text.
And with AI possibly looking at things beforehand, maybe they catch a lot of stuff before it even goes live. But
do you remember drawing stuff though with the Wii U controller and the stylus and like writing a message to the maker of a Mario Maker thing? You're like, I played your level.
Yes.
It made me grumpy. And then you draw a grumpy face and you post it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think, imagine with the mouse, it would go better, I think, than with the stylus.
It would absolutely. And I think this would give them sort of that stylus-y sort of vibe with it too. Dude, I'm excited for what this can do. I think we do see some Zelda stuff in the launch window, whether it's a remake or Tears of the Kingdom DLC that's like kind of bundled in with just the whole fact that you would get an upgraded Tears of the Kingdom experience if you bought the new thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you buy the Switch, you get the DLC for free.
Yeah. And I'd love to see it look better on a 4K TV than it currently does too. And that dock may have
run smoother.
DLSS, I mean, Tears of the Kingdom, built in.
It's got some frame rate problems. I was playing it again recently. I was just like, oh, it drops down to like 23 sometimes, like 20-ish.
Yeah.
And it's
Wait, which
kind of painful.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch.
Yeah, Ultra Hand is so CPU intensive. Like, I get it.
Yeah, it's pretty chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable.
I mean, the fact that they put it in a game at all, let alone a game that runs on a handheld console, is...
From 10 years ago.
Yeah, is bonkers.
I'm curious if, you know, viewers, obviously, if you guys have ideas of what you think is going to come down the pipe for Nintendo and for Zelda specifically because of the Switch 2. Let us know. We want to start some conversation a little bit and maybe take some of your ideas. And if we end up having another conversation about this, you know, maybe if one of your thought processes are extremely interesting, maybe we'll bring those up. So
certainly, yeah, we're happy to. If it's compelling to us, we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm. But I'm glad they finally just announced it, because I didn't want to be a part of leak stuff as much as possible, even though it's really hard to not look at it. But now we can finally talk about it.
Right.
In a way that's a little bit more like, okay, we're along for the ride with Nintendo a little bit, and a little less about leak stuff.
And the Direct it's April, which feels a long ways away, but I could see some third-party game announcements happening between now and April, certainly. And that would be exciting to see, because, you know, it seems like Microsoft is going to be wanting to support it. Ubisoft has always been very supportive of Nintendo. And we're going to see some cool stuff between now and April as well. Even outside of leaks, I think official stuff will trickle in. And it'll be fun to think about and talk about.
Here's another thing that could happen. It probably won't happen, but we're all crossing our fingers. What if we get a timed exclusive for the Switch 2 of Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong at launch?
That'd be amazing. It happened with that Shovel Knight game.
Plague Knight. No, Spectre Knight. Spectre of Torment.
Spectre of Torment, that's what it was.
But yeah, I mean, even if it was just like a month of time exclusive with Silksong before they go to other platforms like Steam and Xbox and PS5 or whatever, that would be huge. People would pick it up I know a ton of people who would just buy. I mean, Silksong is like the thing. It's GTA 6, Silksong, Half-Life 3. These are all like the games that will never happen, or like, you know, people are worried will never happen. Mm-hmm. What if all of those got announced? You know, Half-Life 3 for the Switch,
massive, right?
GTA 6 for the Switch.
Yeah,
people
and
freak out.
And they don't come to everything else until 2026 or something. So the holiday sales, that could be enormously massive.
That would be absolutely nuts. Oh, dude, this is exciting. It's an exciting time.
We've been waiting and waiting, and it's paid off, but now there's some more waiting to do.
I think we do probably see the Switch in our hands this summer, though. I feel like early summer is probably when it's going to show up. June, like
right.
early June.
Well,
or
so they
late May.
have the in-person hands-on experiences in several cities around the world, and the last one is in South Korea, and it lasts through June 1st. So,
so maybe
unless
that's
it
the launch
releases
time.
different times in different countries, which it can, I would expect the release to be no earlier than like middle to late June, or maybe early to mid-June. But I could see it being like September too. So we'll just have to see. I don't know what's going to be in the April Direct, but I'm hoping for game announcements, perhaps with launch windows or dates, and of course a launch date for the console itself.
Yep.
And maybe a price point.
I'm sure we'll get all those things in April.
Yeah.
I bet we get the price point and the launch date and launch titles.
Yeah,
Big
so we
launch
don't know
titles
if there's
in
going
that
to be
Direct.
like a game Direct too, but I would imagine the Direct in April is probably going to feature several first-party games.
Oh, I bet it's going to. And if the mouse compatibility thing if the mouse thing is rumor is true, which it looks like it is from that trailer with the zooming around controllers, I bet we're going to see some interesting PC games show up that didn't work before, like RTS games like City Skylines or
SimCity? I've been calling for
Yes.
Nintendo to buy the rights of The Sims and Maxis and SimCity from EA for some time now. And EA
what
is
if
hurting.
they just did it. EA is evil. They deserve to hurt.
EA is evil.
EA stands for Evil Apple Eaters.
If you're excited about this Nintendo announcement and you just can't wait to watch something else great, check out the time we played through Tears of the Kingdom using only Amiibo drops. It's on the screen right now, and if you click on that, we'll meet you over there
In the basement.